3 years ago, I sold my business, which was doing over $1 million revenue with 16 staff and beautiful offices and a great location. So in this video, I thought I would collect my thoughts around the lessons that I've learned from running that business. Now, lesson 1, the importance of finding your niche. Now, when you start a business, you might think that anybody can buy the product or service or thing that you have to sell. So you just go chasing down anybody and everybody who could possibly be a customer to you. And whilst this feels like a great opportunity for you to have such a wide audience of people who might be interested in what you have to sell, it actually makes it more difficult for you because now you're competing with everybody else out there as well. You're competing with all of the generalists in the same position as you, but you're also competing with those who have niched down to pick a specific subset of that audience. And as a consumer, if you are going to buy something from somebody, you're more likely to buy from someone who caters to exactly your needs than a generalist who sells to anybody. Now, if you're an IT business like I was, you could start by niching your services to within a certain distance from your offices. And perhaps you're only interested in working with other businesses with more than 20 staff. But even more powerful is to niche down to a specific industry. So for example, if you're providing IT services for accountants with 20 to 30 staff within 20 miles of Southampton, then you potentially have a lot more to offer accountants in Southampton than just a generalist IT business who will work with anybody in any location. So focusing on a niche, regardless of what business you are, will provide overall better results than being a generalist. Now, lesson number 2 is building a strong team and delegating effectively. Now, this lesson is one that every business owner, entrepreneur goes through as they start to grow, and it starts by hiring people that are, generally speaking, cleverer than you are. Because to begin with, you will be doing everything, like the marketing, the sales, accounts, customer service, legals, anything the business throws at you. So when you are at the stage, when you are hiring staff, you want to start handing off the skills which you are either less good at or less enjoyable to others who actually are more skilled at doing the task or enjoy doing those tasks. So again, as an IT business owner, the first few skills you might want to offload are the technical skills, because you are more effective out there to market and then bring new clients into your business and then carry on the day-to-day fixing of problems. So hire someone who is good at the technical side. And then each time you are looking to hire, it should either be because your team are at capacity and so you need to scale, say you need technical staff to support your customers, or it should be so you can offload some of your own workload to someone else, again, who is better skilled to do so. Now, over time, you'll find yourself doing less and less as your team grows and you delegate more responsibility to others. Now, ideally, until you get to a stage where you essentially write yourself out of a job. Now, for me, this was always the best place to be because now you are not instrumental in running your business, and now you can focus on more strategic tasks like overall business growth or new products or services. And when you do come to sell your business, you won't have an issue of you being instrumental in that business's operations. Now, I almost got to that stage when I sold my own business. I'd hired people to take over the customer support, the day-to-day account management, and even a certain aspect of the marketing too. But I was still dealing with new clients and a bit of marketing at the stage of selling up. Lesson number 3 is embracing continuous learning and adaptability. Now, there is something that I feel that we all experience as we get older and we learn, more about the world. It's this exponential curve of assuming we know everything there is to know when we're young, and as we're exposed to more of the world, we realize how little we actually know. And so I always find it telling when you speak to someone and, quiz them on their knowledge to find them overconfident and saying they know everything there is to know about whatever it is, because in reality, those people are very, very few and far between. Now, this becomes apparent in your business too. And very few of us start a business and know exactly how it's going to go. And so you have to be ready and willing to learn and adapt as you go. Now, with me and my business, I'd read a book or listen to a podcast and basically come into work the next day all like hey, let's do this today. And my team were just kind of used to, oh, Pete's had another crazy idea. Let's see where this one goes. Now, it probably wasn't the best thing to do at the time. So what I ended up doing was building out a management team. So when I'd had those crazy ideas, I'd instead run them past the team first and explain my reasonings so they at least understood where I was coming from. But I think the biggest lesson from lesson 3 is to wrap in your learning and adaptability with your customers and their feedback. Encourage them to give you feedback, good and bad, and then show them how you are improving your business by responding to their feedback. And don't just do this at the highest levels, build this into the business at every level. Make sure your staff get regular feedback, regular training to give them more skills so your business can continually improve and do better. Lesson number 4 is creating a strong brand identity. Now, this only really came to me about 4 years into running my business. We'd seen good growth through others recommending us, and I just wondered, what if we could bring in new clients with marketing? That's bringing in cold clients who had never heard of us before. And so, of course, the search began, pay-per-click, SEO, networking, like all of the things that most businesses go through. But it wasn't until we started doing video marketing, which is where we saw our own business go from one, nobody had heard of, to one others would aspire to be, and attempting to copy what we were doing. And one that would see marketers tell me that they loved our branding, and one that would actually allow us to win new clients, even when we were the most expensive option in the room. They told me that. Now, branding is something that everyone wants, but no one will, in my experience, put the work in. And every single time people think they're putting the work in with building a brand by getting a nice logo and slapping it on a pretty website with business cards and letter-headed paper. And whilst that is part of it, it's not what matters. What matters is that people get to know you, they get to know your company, and they understand the passion behind your business. They understand the reason you do what you do. They get to know you, they get to feel some sort of emotion from your brand. Now, there is a huge amount of data that shows that people are more likely to buy from someone who is sharing their journey, like the good and the bad, than another perhaps bigger, more established business who just shares the traditional, look what we do, we're excellent, we never make mistakes. Branding is about feeling, not the actual product or service that you sell. Have you ever seen Coca-Cola put out an advert that talks about like special offers and discounts? Or do you just need to hear the words? Lesson number 5 is effective marketing and customer acquisition. Now, the biggest lesson I learned here is that just because Mark down the road is very vocal about how SEO has brought him a ton of new business, it doesn't mean that you're going to find the same. Now, this tweet from Justin Welsh is a prime example. I read through his tweet and thought, shit, all I need to do is sign up for these same apps that he uses and surely I'll be able to make 100 grand per month, because it's all too easy to put the blame on something else than on what you're doing. Now, for marketing, it took me a while to figure out a way that helps most businesses to find like their thing. I'm a huge advocate, of course, of video. I do think that is one area of marketing which every business should be taking advantage of. Now, of course, I would be biased because I recently launched a video course around how to do video for business, which I'll link to down below. 20% off if you're a Tech Tribe member, by the way. Now, this lesson for me was more around setting my business up for inbound marketing rather than the outbound marketing. Now, inbound marketing means that we create content and put that out online that attracts our ideal customer to get in contact with us. Now, this marketing is typically like evergreen and has a long life expectancy. So that's things like video content, blog posts, SEO, podcasts and articles. Now, for me, it became a really simple decision on how to manage my time. Like, why spend 2 hours of my life going to a networking event and speaking to 20 people who don't care for you or your business, when I could spend those same 2 hours creating a video, which would be seen by a minimum of 40 to 50 people who choose to view it, and with many videos continuing to gain views and bringing in leads every single month, even years after posting them. So for lesson number 5, for me, it was just to start doing video marketing much sooner. Lesson number 6, financial management and smart investments. Now, managing your finances is something that isn't ever really taught in school or college or university. No one shows you how to run a business's finance. And if you're anything like us, you start off with one bank account, and then as the money grows, you start kind of realizing you need a better way of managing this money. Now, for us, this system was called Profit First, which is actually a book written by a guy called Mike Michalowicz. And his book takes you through how some basic cash management skills can dramatically improve your business. Now, we still do this with our own personal money today, both for like business and personal money. We put all of our money together each and every single month, and then we pay a percentage into each of a number of accounts. Now, the bank I use has a feature called Spaces. So rather than opening like multiple accounts and it gets complicated with account numbers, I can just put money into my Space for tax or savings or profits. But it essentially means that I can save up my money, so I have money set aside for taxes, and I also have some money set aside for buying new things. And in my OC business, we had accounts for staff bonuses, events, office equipment, and pensions and those kind of things. Now, the personal way of doing this is, again, you pull yours and your partner's money together each and every month, then you move your collective money into pots for your bills, for your food shopping, maybe house renovations, maybe holiday savings accounts. Maybe you've got kids, so money goes into like each of the kids' accounts, and it just helps you get organized with your money. And over time, it just makes a dramatic impact on both your business and your personal life because you're starting to save money. Like with my business, when COVID hit, I knew we had about £50,000 worth of cash just sat there waiting for a rainy day. Like, I didn't quite think we expected a rainy 2 years, but having 50 grand just ready definitely helps ease any worries. Lesson number 7 is building and nurturing customer relationships. Now, if you want to learn one way to dramatically speed up the growth of your business, is to focus all of your attention and effort on customer satisfaction. Like, make them so satisfied with the service or product that they've received they will go out and do your marketing for you. Like, picture that you are the world's best company at doing whatever it is you're doing. Now, if someone was to buy from the world's best IT company or the world's best florist or world's best ice cream company, like, what would it look like to buy from them? Like, picture that customer journey and try to implement that in your own business. It is such a refreshing approach to take when you're looking at your own business. And when you're responding to customer complaints or feedback, think, what would the world's best company do in that situation? Focus on this, focus on collecting happy customer testimonials, share those across your social media, and you will bring in new clients. Lesson number 8 is streamlining operations and scaling effectively. Now, this next lesson is one that I really ran with from the start of building my business, and it's a problem I see more in other businesses, and it's all about efficiency. Now, the problem is you get so busy whilst running your business that if you were to ask to do something which takes you longer, you're probably not going to do it. But in my eyes, if you can do something like once that does take longer, but then means it takes way less time to do that again in the future, then I would do that every single time. Invest the time up front to automate as much as you can, and make sure you pick tools that will allow your business to scale without having to change everything up as you outgrow the tools you initially chose. Now, lots of businesses struggle with documenting their processes, but you need to build this into the way your business operates. Like, if you don't, then your business won't scale as efficiently, and you'll introduce problems that will get really frustrating to fix until you get that proper documentation in place. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance, I think the saying goes. And lesson number 9, balancing work and personal life. Now, this is by far one of the hardest ones to achieve, but it is by far also one of the most important. Now, most people growing a business will put, looking after yourself at the bottom of the pile of the, things I need to take care of. But the problem is, if you don't take care of yourself, then you do hit a rut and you burn out, then you're no good to anybody. Like, no good to your business, no good to your customers. In some cases, no good to your partner or your family. Now, this is a difficult one to give generalized advice on, because everyone's experiences will be just so different here. Now, in my old life of running my IT business, I would say to set your working hours and stick to them religiously. Like, don't work weekends, don't work into the evenings. Don't say to yourself that it's okay to work that little bit more, because it will help us grow faster. Now, in my own business, I tried to make excuses for myself to take time off. Like, how stupid does that sound? Or rather, I made myself work harder so I'd felt that I'd earned the time off. So I'd come in 1 hour earlier every single day. So by Friday, I could take the afternoon off on Friday because I'd already put in an extra 5 hours worth of work that week. And that might be okay as long as it's not burning you out. In my new life that I have now, burnout is very different because I'm very much in the phase of passionately doing what I do. I love making these videos. I love helping people with their businesses. We can be chilling out on the sofa in the evening, catching up on the latest episode of Ted Lasso or something, and I will happily get my laptop out and work on some bits whilst we're chilling out, watching some films. But this time around, I know that if I don't want to, then I don't have to. There is absolutely no self-enforced, self-inflicted pressure to perform like there was with my last business. So to those of you who are struggling, taking time out of the business sounds like the most counterintuitive thing to do. So if you're so busy, why would taking time off be good for your business? And I can speak from personal experience right now. After taking a couple of work-related trips to Paris and one to Barcelona, and when I came back, my head was so much clearer with what I wanted out of life. And for me, the decision I came to was that I no longer wanted to continue running my business. So we decided to sell. And you can actually find more about what happened by watching this video next. But I do hope this video helps you, and I'd love to chat with you more in the comment section down below.